Cascade Hoops Talk, Billy D. Hey, I got Donnita Drain-Rogers here, Athletic Director at Langston. Thank you so much for giving me a couple of minutes. You know, you and I talked in the off season quite a bit about, bringing Coach Wright on and, your selection process and everything. And I know that you guys were very intentful about really wanting to do the right thing with this basketball program. And last year you had a very good year. You ended up losing to Georgetown. And this year now you're in the Fab Four. I mean, just talk about that, looking through that scope of where you started from, looking for a coach.
That's a great lead-off question. Ironically, our president that helped and assistant with the hire of Coach Wright was at the game last night.
Oh, okay.
And so for both of us to get to witness what has happened in just 2 years was it's just a heartfelt moment.
Yeah.
And so we both kind of took a picture together, like who knew that he could do this, in 2 years. I mean, we felt it was possible, but like he has just fulfilled every promise, everything he said that he could do. And it just further reinforces there's a method we call the WHO method based on that WHO book and on hiring practices, and it's worked. I said in 2 days we'll know if we need to write the author of that book.
Yeah, in 2 days. And I know you won't say it, so I'm going to lead into this question. You were the NAIA Women's Player of the Year up at Northwestern Oklahoma. Looking at this from now through the lens of a former player, what does that give you a different view of this to see what they're accomplishing? Since the strain of getting, I think you went one time to the Elite Eight, I think.
Oh yeah, so that was as a coach, but and as a player at Northwestern, I was talking last night. My mom and my sister have been up here on this journey as well, and we were just talking like as a player back in the day, I played for District 9 with Southeastern and all that other group. I don't remember having automatic qualifiers and all that. Very difficult to get to the national tournament. I went back in the day, they used to have like a 3-point contest. I think free throws. So I actually went in a 3-point contest. So that's a whole story in itself.
Yeah.
But so I got to see what that was about as a player. And then as a coach, we went 6 times to the NAIA national tournament. And then as an AD to follow the journey of these young men. And then as a coach and player, how difficult it is to get to this point. Like there are only 4 teams left. Everybody dreams about this, and they are right here. So like with my past experiences, I just want them to just take advantage of every possession. So no matter what happens on these games, got to win tomorrow to be able to play Tuesday. But no matter what happens, they're going to remember it for a lifetime. So, not every basket will fall. You won't stop everybody every time, but did you give it 100% on every possession? Like that is my hope and dream for them, is just when this is over and you're an old man in your rocking chair, that you remember it. And like if what happens, it happens as long as you played and you have no regrets. That's what I want most for them.
I agree 1,000%. You do not 5 years from now want to look back and say, what if? You don't want to have any regrets. But I don't know, I'm probably wrong, but I always tell people who get to this level is getting to the Final Four in my mind is almost like winning the national championship or the Fab Four, getting to that level, because it's so hard to get there. And then, boy, it's a bounce of a ball, a call at the end of a game. I mean, there's so many factors that go into who's going to actually win that championship. And it's reaching that last 4 teams is so difficult.
Yeah, it's a monumental occasion. I had the opportunity. Coach Wright allows me to talk to the team sometimes on game day in the morning. And the other day when we were in the Sweet 16 round, I just want to talk to them. Like Langston University has a rich history, basketball history.
Yeah.
You talk about Marcus Haynes, and we talked about their winning streak with the 112 versus 4 and the 59 winning. I was like, it's been almost 80 years to bring us to this point. Now we've had men's basketball teams from Langston make it to the national tournament, but just to be in this position where Coach Wright and those young men are right now, I was like, that's almost 80 years. Definitely a lifetime for many people before we're facing something of this significance in our basketball history. So
that's pretty big.
Yeah. So I was like, just think about that. I was like, it's time for you guys to take your place in that legacy. And so I'm hoping that they can visualize themselves, with that red banner and have that opportunity just to, play their hearts out and play every possession, follow the plan, stay united, all those other little pieces that you just preach as a coach. And that is a brotherhood that's going to be remembered, for their entire lifetime. And hopefully, 10 years from now at homecoming, they'll be sitting around talking about the plays they made during the Final Four and hopefully wearing their rings to homecoming. I hope.
You hope.
I hope.
Talk about your relationship with Coach Wright. You're the athletic director, but you've coached at almost every level imaginable. A lot of people don't know boys basketball. You coached in Louisiana. You coached at Grambling. You're head women's basketball coach there. Coached at Langston. You have a deep coaching history. Does that change your relationship with the basketball coach because you know the struggles and the game so well?
Yeah, I think it's been awesome. I feel like Coach Wright and I are extremely close. I will say like a little bit of a little brother kind of on that. So, but I love talking basketball with him. I love having the opportunity, whether we're on the road at home, calling him that night, like, hey, what'd you think about this or whatever. We usually exchange a hug after the game, and then we'll text and talk about certain things of the game. And I have just I've loved how he has just included not only me, but many of the fans and all that. But we have a very unique relationship with just being able to talk basketball. And I think I know a lot of the history there at Langston, and just being able to navigate these waters with him. And I'm so impressed with, I thought I always really paid close attention to the culture that I was trying to build. But man, I've never seen somebody as, I'll say, OCD about their culture as he is. And from the smallest things, I'm so proud of him for that. Like, it's not just X's and O's. Like, this is a system, folk. And I've told him, I'm like, I hope you wrote that in your journal. I was like, someday when this is all over, people are going to want to buy a book on, Chris Wright, on how you were able to get to 2 Final Fours and hopefully 2 national championships in 3 years. Like, that's hard to do. There's some people that chase that ball their whole life and never get that done.
Have you ever been around a coach who is fanatical about defense as Coach Wright?
I actually have. So when I played at Northwestern, our men's basketball coach, Bob Battisti, was like that.
Okay.
And I remember we had practice from 1 to 3, and the men were from 3 to 5, hopefully. And so I remember times when he was so ticked off about practice that he was like, we're starting practice over, make them go back to the dressing room, start stretching all over. And he would send the cafeteria, like, go get their lunch, their dinner and all that. And we would be like, but I mean, he's a phenomenal coach with defense, so I have been around that.
Yeah, it's kind of a cool story,
And I know one of the things, like, you talk about things that just kind of make you emotional. I don't think I'm a major emotional person, but man, just like every day in my office when I can hear the men's team and I hear them talking on their their shell drills and defense, like that almost makes me need a Kleenex. That's just an old coach, I guess, speaking, but I'm like,
the old coach coming out.
Listen to that, and sometimes that's one of my favorite times of the day is just hearing that, because as a coach, when you get your team to that point where everybody's talking on defense, they're rotating right, whatever, especially how that play and that practice looks in February when you're getting ready for postseason and all that, and everything's grooving at the right time. And that's, I love to tell him, like, when it's November, I was like, man, that sounded like a February practice.
Yeah. That's good. I like that. Hey, Donnita, talk about your fan support. You have more fans here this year, I think. I'm pretty sure. And I noticed in watching the games, the fans grew throughout the year. I think your school community support and obviously your campus support, really big. A lot of excitement on campus. Talk about the campus, your community support, and what you're getting here in Kansas City.
Oh, well, we're so excited about not only the students that drove up, but a lot of alumni that have been attending the game, and some of our faculty and staff making the drive. And I think it's really important for our student athletes to look out there and see all the support from the campus community and the alumni at whole. Like, we're really embracing this Lion Nation. And then now with the age of live stream and social media, they're able to be a part of all of that. I dropped a short video that I'm taking just from my bird's eye view of everything last night. It was after midnight, and still woke up with 700 or 800, views. I was like, man, so everybody's just like hungry to see more and more about what the Lions are doing. And I think they're just so proud of him. And you look at last year, just like, was this a fluke or this happened? But it's not. And I feel with all my heart that we made the right hire. And he definitely, dotted all the I's, crossed all the T's, and here we are to show for it. And, people get behind a winner, but hopefully they get behind him as a person. Like, I've never seen him he pours into the community, the campus community, our alumni. And if you don't have a men's basketball shirt, you probably you weren't trying hard enough. Yeah.
That book has a couple, probably at least one, probably 2 chapters to go that you're going to write about this.
Yes. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's going to be interesting to see how it all, 4 number 1 seeds. That's phenomenal. I think the guy from the NAIA last night told us first time since '72 that occurred. 4 number 1 seeds got to the Fab Four.
Wow.
So
that is amazing.
But it's truly going to be, these are the 4 power programs of NAIA basketball going at it. Nothing's wrong with Cinderellas. You got to tip your hat to them. But there's no Cinderellas. This is power NAIA basketball to close out the last few games here.
It really is. And I can't wait. I thought, like, if we could just get to be where we're playing Monday, I'll be able to sleep. And last night I still didn't sleep good. But I think it's just I guess just the importance and the magnitude of, man, they've already made history at our school at being the first team to make it to the Final Four national tournament. But I'm just like, man, we're so close, and we just hope to be playing on Tuesday. But we're just trying to be major present along this whole journey, and so just want to be and embrace and enjoy every moment of it. That's why I went to practice earlier, and I don't want to miss a moment of it. And these memories are precious to me as a player, a coach, and now as an AD. And I don't know, I love those guys.
Yeah. I got to tell you, thank you so much. Kind of on a moment's notice. What you guys don't know is I interviewed you before, but I didn't have a contact info. I went on Langston Athletics Twitter and I said, if anybody's around Donnita Drain-Rogers, and 5 minutes later my phone rings. So
you sent out the bat signal.
Yeah, you guys have a pretty good what did I say? Pretty good underground. Anyway, your communication system is good. There's a word for it. The grapevine. Your grapevine.
Yes, our grapevine. It's good.
But thanks a lot. I appreciate you giving me some time. That's Donnita Drain-Rogers, athletic director at Langston.
Yeah, L's up.